Earlier it was financial year and assessment year. Financial year in which the timeline in which you earn, and assessment year is the timeline in which you pay for the tax, where August, which is extended, and the new version of it. Then the filing returns, इसमें जो कई बार आप रिटर्न फाइल करते हो और आपको कुछ एरर हो जाता है, and you know yours. Then third, when we talk about dividends and mutual fund, there is no reduction of interest on borrowed funds here. Then fifth is changes in foreign transactions or welfare. Earlier this was through TAN, which was tax deduction and collection account number, which is not required anymore. Through PAN के through इस बार अब हो जाना चाहिए. So there is a simplification of cross-border transactions as well here that the government is targeting to month, and now it has increased to 3,000 per month, and then 300 से आगे जाके 9,000 per month भी हो गया है. So there is an increase in the, because now things are not as same as they were earlier. So with return from any particular investment, then that will be charged as capital gain only. So that aligns with the equity tax principles. It's kind of encouraging, long-term investment and not short-term investment, not day-to-day investment. The government is focusing that the investors, but new forms, you require new forms as well. So single way of Aadhaar has been reduced. PAN mandatory for high value transactions as well. Rupees 10 lakh deposit हो रहे हैं, या फिर आपका ज़्यादा है property. Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel. So today we will be going to talk about the new income tax reform 2025. Now this act, earlier it was 1961 Income Tax Act of 1961. Now this act has been amended here and there to bring it to up to date, make it up to date, and till 2025. Now the new act will be called Income Tax Act of 2025. Now there are a few changes, and I will talk about different categories where the changes have been brought and where they're going to have an effect, or कौन इससे affect होगा. Number one is the introduction of the term tax year. Now earlier it was financial year and assessment year. Financial year in which the timeline in which you earn, and assessment year is the timeline in which you pay for the tax, where all the tax is calculated. But now you will have a tax year which will remain the same, right? So what the government has been aiming to do herein is that they want to simplify the words that have been used in the act, and to a layman, reorganization of provisions for bringing clarity and more transparency in the act. Apart from that, there is a shift from legislative taxation to a user-friendly taxation environment, and it is aligning a little better to the global standards, right? So other than that, the second change that has been there is the change in filing, compliance, and procedural rules. Now, ITR deadlines. Number one is the ITR deadlines. So salaried के लिए 31st July है, that is remaining the same. But for businesses and professional, that has extended to 31 August, which is extended, and the new version of it. Then the filing returns, इसमें जो कई बार आप return file करते हो और आपको कुछ error हो जाता है, and you yourself want to correct it. So for the correction window is there, and that is extended for 12 months. So again, you can do that correction till 31st of March. So यहाँ पे basic motive क्या है? For the improvement in error correction as well as voluntary compliance by the people, because कई बार error जान के नहीं होता, you simply just fill in the application form and you have this error. So there is a period of 12 months where you can rectify it. Then tax deducted at source has been simplified as well. Separate forms होते थे पहले बड़े सारे, but now एक single declaration हो जाएगा. For what? For your mutual funds, for your dividend, for your bonds, everything. So it has reduced, duplication of work. Now again, second is when you talk about NRI property transactions, now buyer can deduct your TDS using a PAN only, permanent number. Now earlier this was through TAN, which was tax deduction and collection account number, which is not required anymore. Through PAN के through इस बार अब हो जाना चाहिए. So there is a simplification of cross-border transactions as well here that the government is targeting to. The third is the impact on salaried class. So यहाँ पे when you talk about perks and other things, इसमें भी कुछ changes आए हैं. First is the HRA. Now earlier it was, आपको सिर्फ रेंट रिसीट देनी होती थी, and that would be all. But इसकी वजह से काफी ज़्यादा people were misusing it to reduce for tax evasion. But now you need landlord PAN number as well as rent proof to actually, claim that HRA. So tax evasion will reduce, and earlier it was all, fake receipts, rent receipts, but now that will be cut because now you need PAN card of the PAN card number of the landlord as well. So again, here earlier they were only, and this was eligible for metropolitans. There were four metropolitans, that is Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, and Chennai. But now four new metropolitans have been added, including Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, and Pune. So this has increased benefits. There are other increased benefits as well, like medical card. It was only of 50 rupees. Now it is 200 rupees. Meal card, sorry, 50 se 200 ho gaya per meal ka. Then gift from 5,000 to it has been increased to 15,000 rupees. Children allowance, education allowance was only 100 per month, and now it has increased to 3,000 per month. And then 300 se aage jaake 9,000 per month bhi ho gaya hai. So there is an increase in because now things are not as same as they were earlier. So with recommendations and with changes bringing it to real time scenario, that is the year 2025, it was much required. So now basic isse ho kya raha hai, there is an increase in disposable income of people because we are having these benefits as well. Now talking about the investors market and financial behavior कैसे affect होगा. यहाँ पे आपको higher STT देना पड़ेगा, which is your securities transaction test cost, so or tax, if that we call it. So if you're trading in options and futures, also you need to give your STT, that will be affected here. So that cost is increasing. Now buyback transaction में क्या है? Earlier dividend tax, like it was paid, but now if you are gaining that return from any particular investment, then that will be charged as capital gain only. So that aligns with the equity tax principles. It's kind of encouraging long-term investment and not short-term investment, not day-to-day investment. The government is focusing that the investors should focus on long-term more than the short-term or the intraday transactions. Now, second here is that the sovereign gold bond. So that the primary users, the first time purchase buyers of the sovereign gold bonds, they are tax free. But if you are secondary buyer, or not a primary one, then that is taxable. Then third, when we talk about dividends and mutual fund, there is no reduction of interest on borrowed funds here. Then fifth is changes in foreign transactions or welfare. So tax collected at source here for foreign travel. Earlier it was 20%, but now it is flat at 2%. So इससे क्या हो रहा है? There is a reduction in payment of overall travel cost as well. So education and medical abroad के लिए भी आप जाते हो तो भी आपको TCS सिर्फ 2% ही देना पड़ेगा. Sixth change is a change in PAN. So for new PAN, not just Aadhaar, but new forms, you require new forms as well. So single way of Aadhaar has been reduced. PAN mandatory for high value transactions as well. So rupees 10 lakh deposit हो रहे हैं, या फिर आपका ज़्यादा है property का transaction is more than 20 lakhs, or you are doing luxury spending, you will need a PAN card for that. Government is trying to trace money movement and understand where this is all going. So these are the 6 basic changes that are recognized in the Financial Act of 2025, Income Tax Act of 2025. And I hope that this video is giving you information and helping you. And please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.